Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Amira Sofia binti Roslan, metric number 2019282 from Kuliah Language and Management, majoring in English for International Communication at International Islamic University Malaysia, Pagoh. So about my paper, I have chosen a research journal entitled The Search for National Identity in the Discourse Analysis of YouTube Comments. The authors are Zhu Siu Liu and Hanita Hassan. The year of publication is on 2021, and the name of the journal is Journal of Language and Linguistic Studies. The page number 1806 and until 1821, and this is the DOI number, and the publisher is from the Cognizance Research Associates, published by JLLS. First of all, the introduction for this research journal is it includes the various forms of social media that have emerged since the last decade and had taken over the large part of the users' lives. So we live in a digital era where we use a lot of social media that are include Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and so on. So as a result, a lot of individuals all around the world, especially the younger generation, choose to express themselves more through social media. And after creating an account and logging in, the viewers can freely express their ideas in the comment section of YouTube videos in a variety of languages. So in this research journal, they want to analyze the computer-mediated discourse from YouTube that can be gathered to learn more about the identity of a certain group or country, in this case, the identity of Malaysia. The research questions include what are the discourse in YouTube comments which are associated with Malaysian identities. So in order to look for any noteworthy linguistic discoveries, the language used in the YouTube comments of Malaysia-related videos were examined. And for the literature review, there are three which are include. First, the presence of identity in computer-mediated discourse. As stated by Page on 2014, social media users' identities can be indirectly determined by the language they use when they post comments and other content on the site. This is true even though social media users' identities are fluid and dependent on interaction. It still demonstrates the users' attempts to conceal their identities or gender. Hence, their true identities can still be discovered. And for the second literature review, the Malaysian identity, according to the study done on Malaysian students by Far East on 2002, the idea of their Malaysian identity is linked to things like their personal, ethno-cultural, linguistic, and religious identities. When they engage with internet users from across the world, such as on YouTube, this sort of identity or representation of Malaysia might be introduced. For the third literature review, this researcher concentrated on using YouTube as a tool of language learning, also as a venue for performing arts, teaching, and education, studying YouTube use at the university level. And also, Lingam and Arifin on 2017 have conducted a recent study on flame comments in Malaysian YouTube videos and discovered that racial and political insults were the two most common YouTube comments. Next, for the research methodology, first they used data sources. The data came from the comments on 5 YouTube videos about Malaysian identity that were released by Malaysian YouTube between 2014 and 2017, because the content created by Malaysian YouTubers is more focused on Malaysian and the Malaysian identities. So these films were chosen because they meet the conditions of having at least 100,000 views and more than 100 comments, as supported by Lingam and Arifin 2017 in a similar study. For the second methodology, they use the data collection and analysis. This is because they want to study how Malaysian identity is portrayed in YouTube comments. Qualitative research was done. This is because qualitative research is better for this topic as it is allow for greater depth in written expressions of how people experience a certain research issue. And the search for relevant videos were performed by typing in the words that are connected to the Malaysian themes such as Malaysia, Malaysian culture, and Malaysian identity. The selected videos include videos about Malaysian food, people, culture, habits, lifestyle, language, and stereotypes, which may encourage YouTube users to leave comments expressing their thoughts on Malaysian identity. So in order to collect this discourse expression to be relevant and not outdated, a period of time was set for the selection of the videos, with the chosen videos sourced from 2010 and forward. Next, about the findings show that there were various themes that were repeated in YouTube comments discourse. When the comments were categorized by thematic textual analysis, it was discovered that there were a few categories of recurring themes in the discourse that were related to Malaysians' identity. Among the recurring themes was include love towards the country, Malaysian food, mixing languages in Malaysia, being multiracial, Malaysian stereotypes, and Malaysia as birth country. For the first theme, this example showed that the user mentioned the reason why he feels proud of the country, which is due to the different races living together harmoniously. The next example, it is demonstrate of how nasi lemak is perceived as tied to the Malay ethnic group and culture. This is in line with Alonso and Christ in 2013, who pointed out that a country's food establishes an essential identity of its people, as food represents not only physical need, but also a country's local cultures and customs. For the third example, the user from this phrase, it seems that to feel guilty that he is not able to understand the Malaysian Chinese slang, even though he regards himself as a Malaysian. This proves that the role of language in forming or influencing a person's perception of his cultural and national identity. Next, this example showed that when these Malaysian-related videos include a collaboration of famous YouTube personalities from different races, some users commented how they were glad that this brings out the multiracial scenario in Malaysia. For the next example, this is the most common Malaysian stereotypes are shown in examples where the users respond in agreement with the videos about the stereotypes of Malaysian being late, and the term on the way, the stereotypes of Malaysian being always late are due to the common issue of some Malaysians who have a Malaysian timing. For the final example, in fact, all these comments show that many Malaysians, whether they are East or West Malaysian, have a strong sense of identity of being a Malaysian through their birth country. For the discussion, the limitation of the current study was some of the comments may have been influenced by the video's content discussing the recurring categories. However, most viewers voiced their opinions on the video material, which helps the way consumers perceive Malaysian identities. Future research might potentially study other genres of YouTube videos and analyze not only the discourse but also other factors such as emoticons and symbols to provide more data on national identity in YouTube comments. As a conclusion, the study looked into how Malaysian identities were represented in the YouTube comments on Malaysian-related videos. So according to the discussion on YouTube, Malaysian identity is related with the repeating markers of affection for the country, food, language, being multiracial, Malaysian stereotypes, and birth country. Some of these markers have highlighted how YouTube comments might represent cultural and national identity. So that is all from me. Thank you.